This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.
All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors and let everyone in. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Ruth Ellen Sanchez. I am standing in for Rebecca Dukes, who is on a vacation and will be back with us tomorrow. And I'm just so grateful that you are all here. And so first off, I want to say that this program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. So thank you for that. Also, this is powered by dailywithdoc.com. And I'm going to admit, I'm a little nervous just to get it out there because then I feel better. Anyway, all right. So we have Dr. Cara Ringland, Naturopath, as our guest today. And she is the body, temple, health, iridology, and analysis and more by Dr. Cara Ringland. And I am going to actually let Dr. Cara tell you all the things that she has accomplished so I don't miss anything. So I am going to bring Dr. Cara on. And sorry about that. There. Oh, all right.
Wonderful. Hello. Thank you, Ruth Ellen, for such a kind, warm invitation to the screen. I'm so delighted to be here on the Daily with Doc show, and I look forward to seeing Becca next week, and I'm happy she's out having fun. Now, I wanted to highlight, yes, I am a naturopath. I did a 6,000-hour clinical internship under Dr. Carol Geck in the early 2000s. And I am a practiced iridologist. I've been studying for over 24 years. And so if you're not familiar with iridology, it's the study of the iris of the eye. So looking at the colors, the patterns, the shapes, and the textures to identify genetic strengths and weaknesses that we inherit. So at my business, I perform iridology analysis. And that is at my company, Body Temple Health, where I see clients. And I wanted to make sure to let people know who are watching this show that if you send people to come to me, I would gladly help give them an eye analysis to help direct them into the wellness plans that they need. And if anyone comes to me and has been working with a longevity representative, all of their suggestions for their supplementation and essential oils will be credited to the member that they were brought in by. I'm only here really as a resource to provide information, to give people direction. And that's what I find with healthcare today, whether it's natural or allopathic, there's a lot of information out there. And we get a little bit muddied up and start to wonder if I'm supposed to take what my neighbor's taking because they're getting such great results, right? So the neat thing about iridology is we start to look at a tailored wellness plan for the individual based on not only their genetic inheritances, but also based on their personality traits and how they process information. So you can find a wellness plan that's really going to support the individual where they're at emotionally, physically, and mentally, and financially, because we want to create a plan that gives people a reduction of stress, right? So we want to find the most efficient ways to inspire change for our clients and ourselves, right? We're all looking to do that. Now, the one thing about with everything that I've studied, I've also studied and extensively with aromatherapy. So when I worked at the Lifestyle Transformation Health and Research Clinic, we were in close connection to one of the leading researchers, Young Life Research Company, on essential oils, using them clinically. So this is important background for me because it taught me, especially as a young mother, how to handle my household with my hands-on approach and having the awareness to be able to support my children, support my family, anybody who was in need. And that's what I'm here today to really highlight, is bringing that awareness to young moms, to caregivers, to people with animals. This is a way that we can help impact our households. All right. So not only do we, of course, always look at nutrition. So nutrition is our food is our first medicine. Now, one thing Dr. Wallach has really highlighted is how deficient our soil is, how much minerals have been stripped from, especially from commercial farming. So the Essential 90 is really is essential to helping boost our bodies out of deficiency. All right. We're basically being malnourished oftentimes. So in my book, Awaken and Become a Tree of Life, Always Be Cleansing, I wrote with Dr. Christine Maxwell, we highlight the basics, the ABCs of self-care, which include hydration, not just the quality and the quantity of water, but being sure you have electrolytes. And that's why with longevity, I'm delighted to work with them because of the products have been well researched and have quality sources. Okay, so there's a lot of supplements out there, you guys, and most of them are irradiated, full of preservatives, all kinds of unnecessary binders. And something about Dr. Wallach I appreciate is his background, not only with naturopathy, but also with veterinarian care. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you can understand what your patient or client is saying without using words, then you're on a pretty good path as a physician or a caregiver. So that's why with essential oils in particular, I have found a bridge. So within the Awaken and Become a Tree of Life book, we talk about cleansing, self-care, and with that includes our emotional well-being. Okay. A lot of us are living in so much stress today. We have an inundation of information. And with the news and everything going on in the world, it can be difficult on the nervous system. Okay. So all of us are needing a lot of care for our nervous systems, for our emotional well-being. And the one thing I find with essential oils, especially, is that it's the bridge that doesn't actually even require touch or a change in diet, especially when you're working with the elderly, the end of life care, if you're working with small children. This, or even teenagers, let me tell you, the essential oils are easy to get through and they smell good. So people are inviting, they want them around them. It's not like pushing a natural product on somebody or a new diet plan. All right. Sometimes that's a lot for people to take on if they're in a really indentured way of living. Okay. So you can start small. Now, when we get into the science of essential oils, so we wanted to talk today about the basics of aromatherapy. All right. Why does it work? How does it work? Is it credible as far as scientific, or is this kind of some conjecture? So with the research of essential oils, we've discovered that they are very potent. We call them the blood of the plant. All right. So 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is the same as 30 cups of peppermint tea in the strength that it will provide for the digestive system. So talk about a potent way of helping a body come out of deficiency. So if we're trying to be at least at 0 in our bank accounts, maybe a little over, most of us are living in the red when it comes to our nutrition, to our wellness. So with essential oils and good supplements, nutraceutical, we can boost ourselves out of the red and into the green with our wellness. If health is our greatest wealth, how are we investing? We want to be increasing our bank account of longevity, right? So with essential oils, they also come with a high electrical frequency. So this is measured in a DC or direct current frequency called Hertz, Hertz. Now, Hertz is a way of measuring frequency. Now, every living being, even inanimate matter, has an electrical frequency. So now with chromatography and other testing modalities, essential oils can be tested for quality. Okay. So that's what I really want to get into is if you're going to be using essential oils, if you cannot eat it, if it's not GRAS, which is generally regarded as safe by the FDA for a food source or a flavoring source, it should not be put on your skin. Within 26 seconds, anything that goes on our skin goes directly into our bloodstream. So all of these synthetic perfumes, all of our cosmetic products, all of our body hygiene products, soaps, lotions, all of it is full of chemicals. All right. And I strongly feel that most autoimmune issues of today are caused from chemicals. Okay. And for myself as a woman here in the 21st century, keeping up with the trends with beauty, I watch the 20-year-olds using so much glue and all the eye products. And now we're seeing chronic sinus problems. We're having hair loss, advanced aging. So now people are going in for even more beauty products, which is often Botox or other synthetics. Okay. There are natural ways to reverse aging. Okay. There are natural ways to use hygiene and cosmetic products. And that is one thing I do have to say about longevity that I appreciate is they're really working to create alternatives. So we live in a modern world. It's not about wearing a skirt to the ankles and living in the woods. Okay. We can have a very balanced life where we can be part of the world and live in harmony with nature. Okay. And especially with the culture of today, we promote natural wellness for the most part. I mean, 20 years ago, the word organic was barely uttered, and now it's common in today's culture. And I'm so grateful for that. Now, when we look at essential oils, the most important part is to understand that there are different processes for extraction. There is solvent-based extraction, which often is chemical-based. Okay. There's cold pressing, which is usually for a more viscous oil, something that's a little thicker. Okay. Like your almond oil or all of your grapeseed olives, things like that. Then you have steam distillation. Now, steam distillation at a low temperature and a low pressure is the most important for preserving the terpenes, the sesquiterpenes, the chemistry that's hidden within the essential oils. So most pharmaceuticals and most medications, if you look at the chemistry of it, is full of terpenes, sesquiterpenes, and all of these constituents, okay? Well, if you look at essential oils, they're full of the same things, only from a bioidentical source. It's from a plant. Okay. Now, these are also really amazing at passing through the blood-brain barrier. So certain essential oils can actually access different levels of neural activity. And we also look into the essential oils and how they affect the emotional body. So not only if we put them on our skin, do we get the benefits. So if you put peppermint into your navel with a little almond oil, you'll soothe an upset stomach. Okay. If you put, we were talking last week about lemon and using it for cellulite. If you put it on your bristles of your brush, one thing I do really want to identify is that lemon and grapefruit and most citruses in general are solar, they're active to the sun, they're photosensitive. So you want to be careful if you're going to use the citrus oils to not go out into the sun right after application. I would suggest an alternative is cypress. Cypress is incredible for circulation and is not nearly as photosensitive. If you want to continue using a dry skin brush, you can put a drop of cypress in your palm, put your brush bristles into that essential oil, and then target any areas that you would like to have some of the cellular inflammation go down. So that's really what it is. Now, in today's world, we look at the word doctor, and we think of people in a clinic and with a white coat telling us the do's and don'ts of our health. The original word doctor came as the term teacher. So here I come to you today as a teacher, as a naturopath's apprentice for 6,000 hours. I come to share with you the wisdom that I've learned over the years, not only with my clients, but most of all with myself. So as a young mother, using essential oils was one of the biggest bridges, because when you're young and you have a small child and you can't translate what they're saying, the stress levels can get so high. And so what I find with the essential oils, they have really helped me as a mother. Yes, they helped my babies, but really they gave me confidence and kind of a sense of knowing. So with the first aid kit, I wanted to share that there's a couple of different kits in Dr. Wallach's that essential oil product line that I wanted to target today, because if you want to get started on essential oils, let's look at the how and let's get it practical for you. Okay. So the Essential Results Kit currently has sweet birch, cypress, lemongrass, marjoram, ravensara, rose geranium, and to be at peace, which is a blend that he's formulated. It has a little citrus notes. It's really calming for the nervous system. I found that it really helped with colicky, teething babies, any kind of stress. When people were going through illnesses also, especially because that usually gets to their nervous system. Now, just to kind of give you a little overview of the quality of these essential oils. So sweet birch is one that I find is one of my favorites. It is salicylic acid in a bottle. So it's kind of like your aspirin, essentially. If you have a pain in your joints, neck, if you've had issues, you can put a little drop of that with a carrier oil. I really love using, I especially like grapeseed oil for a carrier because it's really light. The almond oil is really nice as well because both of them don't have a strong smell. So wanting to keep it neutral so your essential oils can really be smelled. One thing I do have to say about birch is because it has salicylic acid, you want to be mindful to not give it to children under 10 years old. And keeping it very, very, very diluted in the event that they're in contact with it. I find that it's incredible for pain most of all. So this kit is nice because it's kind of like your first aid kit. It's going to have a little bit of everything for you. The cypress, as I've already mentioned, is excellent to stave off any kind of cellulite or poor circulation issues, varicosities, okay? If you notice numbness in the fingers, that's an excellent sign of needing some circulation. So you can apply cypress to the trapped areas here, again, with a carrier oil is lovely. Lemongrass is known to support kidney function, okay? So my teacher, Dr. Carol, and I, we used to take the lemongrass and actually rub it over the kidneys of our clients. And we would find that they would start, especially if they were having kidney stone issues, any kind of nephritis symptoms, it would reduce it quite a great deal. Now, and then marjoram, I always love this one because it's M, so I use it for muscles. It's really, really good for reducing muscular spasms. Okay, so there's pain and then there's spasms, and spasms is when the nervous system has gotten tripped, and now it's just you need to calm it and stop it because otherwise it's in a cycle. So with Thai massage, I'm a registered Thai massage instructor, and I've integrated essential oils into most of my work to be able to target the joints and the tissues and even the organs with more intention. So we'll talk about that a little more. Ravensara is actually one that's an anti-infection, antibacterial, antiviral. It's really great if you get a cut, a bug bite, things like that. It's got a kind of a strong medicinal smell, so I would suggest using that for, like I say, it also can keep bugs away. It's a good one for anti-bug. Now, rose geranium is one of my favorites for women's health. It is feminine by its very smell. It can help with cramping during that time of the month. It's also incredible for skincare. Okay, so it has been known in a lot of different research to work really well for skin cell regeneration. Again, you want to use that with a carrier oil. I prefer castor oil, and I'll use the rose geranium and castor, and I actually really love the frankincense. Boswellia, as it's called in Latin, is incredible for reversing wrinkles and working with the skin integrity of the epidermis. So it feeds the skin. Now, one thing I know is a lot of moms out there and family members are looking at making things affordable. So I was looking through the catalog and I noted that there is a couple of blended kits that are helpful because they already have your carrier oil added in. Okay, so if you don't want to go in and do a big investment on essential oils that are neat, as they say, so 100% guaranteed essential oil in the bottle, it can, if you think about it, it takes 75,000 roses to make 1 ounce of rose essential oil. All right. So if you want to know why the value of essential oils can be so high, it's because it takes a lot of herbs or plant material to be able to produce essential oil. So if you want to be able to be a little more affordable, you can buy a product that's already blended. And that's helpful, especially for your grab and go, your carry kit. Okay. So the one I really like is the blended children's kit, because I'll tell you, when I have little ones, and they get an owie, most of the time pulling out a little bottle and they get to put it on themselves, it gives them a placebo experience where they get out of the mind and the experience of the pain, and they start creating a solution for themselves. So you're not only providing them with a good solution, but you're giving your children an opportunity to feel empowered in taking care of themselves, or maybe their sister or brother or a loved one who has an owie or a headache. You can teach them the skills of helping others and having a heart of compassion and healing. Now, the other one I saw that I find was actually a really great is the exact same kit that I just went through with all the details, only it already has the carrier oils in it. And that's the Essential Results Now, and it's on the go kit. This one, again, is in roller balls. So one nice thing about roller balls is if it falls over, it doesn't just leak out. So that can be really helpful for in your purse, in your car. I use essential oils instead of first aid, essentially, use that word. I like to be able to, of course, have your Band-Aids and all of your things, but a lavender essential oil is a disinfectant. Same with tea tree. You can put that onto a cut if you're out in the woods. You can help yourself be able to make sure it's an antiseptic so there's no bacteria, and it also will promote healing really well. Now, even for sunburn, okay, lavender for me has been a godsend. I am fair, and I went to a white sand beach once in Hawaii. Felt like I was having the time of my life until I came home and I had blisters all over my skin. So my emergency remedy for that was to take lavender. I made a tub of water. And I took the lavender and the water and I put it on a cloth and I sponged my whole body. And when you're real sunburned, you feel like you can't move because it's crinkling. It actually would help reduce the pain. The blistering went down almost immediately, and I had zero scarring. And it actually healed so well that the peeling was reduced about a week later. So I find using the essential oils, and get creative. I personally feel like if you're being prompted to use one, it may be that higher sense of knowing that's encouraging you to do so. Of course, you can always look online to see if anything is dangerous. One thing we do need to touch on is pets. So back in the 2000 or 20 years ago, we didn't have as much research on pets. And so one thing that has come forward is animals, especially cats, have a small liver. All right. They can't process high toxic smells. All right. This is the same for Swiffers and cleaning products too. All right. We all need to be aware of what we're putting in our exposure to our children and our animals. I used to look at blood cells, and I would actually see chemicals in the blood. So you can obtain them even through the feet. So if you mop the floor with some chemical product that it looks bright pink or purple, I have seen that same product show up in the blood. So we had a client who had mopped her floor, actually it steam cleaned using bare feet, and it was a bright purple product. And sure enough, when we looked at her blood, there was glowing purple dots all through it. Okay. So we really want to be aware of what we're exposing our family members to and our pets to, especially since we've been pushed so much with hygiene. And of course, we need to be sure that we clean our surfaces, we wash our hands. We can do it naturally. We can use essential oils. So even, you can make hand sanitizer just by using plain 100 proof alcohol and adding essential oils to it so that you can make it smell good, but it will disinfect your hands and it will disinfect surfaces. Okay. You can use essential oils as a cleaning product as well. I use it in my spray bottle, and I might add a little bit of natural soap, but usually I put a good amount of tea tree or lavender or lemon. Those are my favorite because they smell clean, right? And you can spray your countertops down. You can make mopping solutions. In fact, a good oil soap solution is to put a 1/4 cup of olive oil into your mop bucket with a little bit of dish soap, a natural dish soap, and essential oils. And that'll actually treat the wood of your floor. So I've been using essential oils for everything. And back to the animals, you want to be mindful that you don't put essential oils directly on their skin, most of all. Also, diffusing with your diffuser in the room with your animal all day, say, is not advisable. I would suggest running your diffuser in your room, say, before bed, but being selective and mindful of that. Usually with the essential oils of lavender, especially, it seems to be pretty neutral for the animals. So you can put that on their collars. That'll help ward off any kind of bugs. I have used essential oils on tick bites. Okay. And that has helped reduce the redness incredibly well. So I do use them a lot. And now with plants too, as I have to say, some of the best bug deterrents and even fungus mitigators are using essential oils in a spray bottle and diluting them down. So you can use, for instance, lemon is really a good one. Tea tree, peppermint has been really well known, and rosemary. Okay. And I don't know the ratio just off the top of my head, but we used to use that. And you could do a combination with isopropyl alcohol. And that actually, especially for bugs, will help kill the bugs as well as deter them. So as far as I'm concerned, we've been so blessed with these alternatives that we can use. Now, when we want to really zero in on emotions, what are emotions? Well, they're predominantly hormones that get released through the limbic system. And a lot of it can be, obviously, it brings an emotion up. We might have tears, we might get angry. But if you look at the science of it, it is hormones that are running through the system. So in order to help balance emotions, essential oils have been known to really work with the limbic system and the hormonal systems. So not only what you breathe or touch and put on your skin, but if you inhale essential oils, the great power there is that it passes through the blood-brain barrier and accesses the limbic system, and can unlock memories in the amygdala gland, which is incredible for people suffering with chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. So we've worked a lot with emotional release. You can use different essential oils, especially I find jasmine, sandalwood to be incredibly effective, and frankincense for accessing the emotional body. You can use different points to be able to access different emotions also. So with body work, we look a lot at that. If they're suffering with a lot of fear, you may want to help support their kidneys because the kidneys run on adrenaline. So if they're dealing with fear, they're dumping adrenaline into their systems, you're going to want to support the kidneys. Anger. All right. Well, we've all heard anger lives in the liver. So we want to support the liver when we're seeing somebody with a lot of anger and passion coming up. And that can be done not only through inhaling particular essential oils. So a lot of the blends are formulated just for emotional components. That's why every title kind of tells you what it's to do, what's the intention behind it. So for instance, when you're looking at Heaven Sent or the Organ Master, now you understand that there's one that's kind of giving you more of a spiritual intention that's going to lift you. Okay. So when we look at the frequencies, these essential oils will actually lift our energetic frequency. That's why if you look at churches and temples throughout all of antiquity have used essential oils, incense, smell to be able to access the pineal gland and go into states of prayer, right? Which is basically activating the frontal cortex, relaxing the entire nervous system. Then there is literally an effect on the body because cortisol can't exist where you're in that state. It's more serotonin, and you're going to induce, right, balancing. So all of these things that were done had an intention behind them. And now we have science that gets to prove what was once maybe conjecture and getting to see how they affect everybody. But with the essential oils, most of all, we look at the history of them, and throughout all of time, there's been extraction of essential oils. Most herbalism is based on picking a plant from the backyard, making tea, like a peppermint, right? Well, whenever an herb dries, a lot of the essential oils is released in evaporation. So when we get the essential oil, we get the full chemistry of what that plant could have provided. And if you don't have a garden in the backyard, I strongly suggest getting essential oils into your regimen. And I can't say it enough. The best part I've found with the oils is for the bridge for elderly and end of life care. So for me, I found when people are ill and may be sensitive to touch or unable to swallow or eat, the essential oils can be comforting, can create an atmosphere of peace, okay? And can also give them some care without the pressure of, say, massage or other modalities. And you look at the apothecarists throughout all of time, they used to use these oils for just that. A lot of it was for the, embalming too, after the process of passing, and because of the preservative qualities of the essential oils. And I personally think they are anti-aging. I find that they reverse a lot of conditions, whether it's arthritis. I've seen, my own wrinkles reduced over the years of really, really focusing and targeting different areas. But I know today we wanted to make this show a little bit more with a question and answer. And I just wanted to make sure to state once again, I'm not here to diagnose or prescribe or be an alternative to allopathic care. If anything, as an iridologist and a naturopath, my biggest call to action is to get your medical baselines. And if you are looking to tailor a wellness plan, please reach out to me at 530-263-2125. And you can find me at Cara at bodytemplehealth.com. I'm available as a resource, not only for people who may be suffering with issues, but also for coaches who are looking for solutions for their clients. And as I expressed in the beginning of the show, anyone who brings a client to me, all of the any of their sales will be directed back to you as their leading member. So we want to make sure to be clear about that. And all of my packages currently include my book with a workbook. So not only are you getting a lot of information about your wellness and your tailored plan, but you're also getting a step-by-step way of applying all of this wisdom and knowledge so that it makes it feel applicable. All right, Ruth Ellen, did you have any questions?
Well, I don't, we do have a hand up, but I want to thank you so much for all the valuable information you've given. You are a true gem to us. Can't express it enough. But I want to go back to the kids kit.
Yes.
That is formulated for children and for the frail, elderly, or frail individual who doesn't have to be elderly, but they're safe for, like I said, frail people and children. And we use that in my house because my grandkids live with me. So we have 5 kids, no, 4, 4 living here. And they just will actually, if they get bit by something, we can put the essential oil. And the card, there's a card in the kit that says for bug bites, do this, for an upset tummy, do this, for cranky, do that. Like it lists a bunch of things and the essential oil to use. So I just
I
want to
love that. Oh, you have so much experience with it then. Sounds like you're the 5th kid in the house.
yeah, kind of. I do. I love essential oils, and they're just so valuable, and people don't really understand that they do affect your mood. They do affect how you're feeling. I mean, I love sweet birch. If my neck is being cranky and I don't have time to like go get a massage, and I can put a carrier, CM cream is great, and sweet birch, and rub it on my trap muscle, and 15 minutes
Amazing.
really is it, and the pain is gone and muscle starts to relax. So I really, really love that.
I swear it's the closest thing to magic I've ever seen is these little bottles. Because when in high states of grief, especially, is where I've seen the biggest miracles. To be able to bring comfort to somebody without words, without touching sometimes. It's
Yes.
just a presence, and you can bring that. And I've watched people completely transform from being broken with great deal of loss to being able to lift up and be like, okay, I'm here. Trauma. Yeah.
Yes.
When people have broken limbs, I've used it before just to get them stabilized so that then you can get them to the hospital. It's incredible.
Yes, it is. They have a blend. It's in a kit. It's called Elated. I love
Okay.
that stuff. I have an empty bottle on my desk so I can smell it because the fumes are still in there.
Yeah.
And I know that if I'm having a day where the world seems to be just crashing in on me and I just don't know how I'm going to get through it, and I got to put on my makeup and I got to get dressed and I got to go do what I got to do, I put that on my pulse points on my wrist. And when I'm applying my makeup, I'm smelling it and it's going into my skin. And in a matter of time, usually by the time I'm done getting ready, I don't feel like that anymore. It's literally an amazing thing. So we do have a hand up. So we're going to go to Bill, and then I have some other things I'd like to talk about if we have time.
Please.
Bill, if you would like to unmute, and then I will add you to the screen with Dr. Cara.
Thank you, Dr. Cara. Okay, personally, for the last week and a half, well, since February, but I'm registering my blood pressure. My blood pressure on the 15th was 171/74. Been using lisinopril. We've doubled that from 50 or 25 to 50. And I'm even trying some double tablets. This morning it was 164/68. Yesterday, I went to Walmart, just bought some beet powder and some chews. I took the powder yesterday with my Slim Fast, well, the Slim FX. I did a chew this morning, so right before the show, it was 148/95. It went down, but that's the first time. Looking online, like with Dr. Ken Berry, some people are allergic to lisinopril. Do you have any knowledge of that? Or
I don't have a bunch of knowledge on that in particular. I would gladly research that for you.
not, I don't think it's necessary, being that I like to get it off, but I've been high blood pressure for years and years. And the suggestion is get rid of most of your carbohydrates and sugars. Okay,
I
so
would suggest getting Dr. Wallach's colon cleanse and getting the bowels more clear. And it's not just what's in the bowel, but it's actually pulling from the rest of the body.
right.
We call, the bowels kind of like your Mississippi River. So we want to drain all the tributaries, all the rivers down into there
I'm
and be
not
able to
that
get them out.
huge.
No, but it's just pressure. So if you've got high pressure, that means there's inflammation and a little swelling. So when you can call that swelling down, will help. And also, again, the cypress essential oil, I have a feeling would be very helpful for increasing circulation.
Okay, I am on day 16 of the liver pure cleanse.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I'm following that. I've been using the products faithfully and did the Health Institute, started April, and using everything correctly. The basic 90, I got the I-26, the daily digest, or the ultimate enzyme, and then I'm a DWD radical for this month's. Add
Well,
that.
and there's something that comes in is, of course, blood pressure can also be related to stress. So for you, I think because it's not always high, if it was consistently high, it would definitely be strictly pretty much physiological. But when we see fluctuations, we have to identify that there's possibility of it being stress related. Okay. And so for you, I feel getting the lavender as far as for an essential oil for you and doing your breathing exercises with lavender, I think would really help your nervous system. And you can do the alternate nostril breathing, and you can put the essential oils in your hand and breathe in through the left nostril, out through the right, and start to, and then you can alternate and in through the right, out through the left. That helps bring the two hemispheres, the two left and the right hemisphere, into union. So that can also help. Sometimes when we see stuff happening, it's like there's a split going on, and you can bring the union in. And of course, using the essential oil of lavender on the neck area would help with just bringing more circulation into your brain. So you're feeling a little less stress in general. So that would be the first thing I would consider. Do you have any other suggestions, Ruth Ellen? I know you're studying currently.
Yes,
How
I am.
exciting.
Yes. Also, I just want to have you clarify, like when you say put it on the hands, we're not talking dumping the bottle and getting like 5 or 10 drops. So if you could just clarify.
Yes. Well, with the essential oil of lavender, you can do either put a little little cup together, and you could mix it 1 ounce of essential oil, of a carrier oil, with 15 drops of essential oil. Then that becomes like a massage oil. So you can use that on any of your hands, your arms. And yes, we want to be sure that anything that you are using will not be in conflict with any of your pharmaceuticals. So we want to be sure that there's no issues.
The only thing I'm using, I am 72. I am using the lisinopril as the only prescription drug.
Okay. Well, I would like to research that more, and I would love to be able to bring a clear path for you on that to make sure that there's no contraindications and make sure you get a little more direction.
Well, my understanding is clearing the liver and the kidneys.
Yes,
That's
that's first and foremost.
Okay, so you brought up castor oil. That was one of my questions anyway. That is safe to use internally and externally?
I find it can be a very strong laxative. So I tend to avoid use internally. That is an entirely use at your own risk. I find that it can be very harsh on the digestive system. So they use it oftentimes in midwifery to induce labor, for instance.
I don't
Okay,
have
so
that. 72.
yeah, I figured so much. So with castor oil, I find it works best topically. And the best thing about castor oil is it's such a deep penetrating essential or oil that it goes deep beyond the epidermis into the tissues, the joints, and the ligaments. So with blood pressure, the one thing we see is if you were to look at your vascular vessels, it's almost like they're getting compromised from, when we get older, we lose our water content, our hydration content. So for you, I would really focus on hydration and drinking those electrolytes and those minerals every single day, enzymes with every single meal. Okay. And then hair, skin, and nails is going to be a really good thing to add to your regimen because that's going to support all the connective tissue that the vascular vessels are made of.
I
So,
have been, and on this, so far on the liver cleanse, I have not been using the collagen.
okay. Well, you could wait until you finish the
right.
liver cleanse, but that collagen is going to be real helpful for you.
Okay, then one last question for now is pure water. In Central Oregon, we have some of the best water in the country, but I don't like drinking out of the tap. What's your
Yeah.
opinion of carbon filtration, like the Berkeley type system?
I find they work really well. The one thing that you're going to want to do is I like to add minerals back. So when you're doing that level of filtration, yes, you're getting all the rock carbon or rock calcium and things out and foreign entities, but you really want to be sure that you have your basics, your minerals in your trace minerals, and making sure your water is alkaline. So, or alkalizing. So I personally love using we have the apple cider vinegar gummies or of course, lemon is always alkalizing. So
I've been using the Bragg's for about 3 years now, and that melted off over 20 pounds.
I'm going to see it's incredible. It definitely, it like wrings out the tissues.
So do you find that using the liquid, does that actually model the enamel on the teeth?
Well, everybody's different. Some people have really sensitive enamels and do find that apple cider vinegar or lemon affect the enamel tremendously. That's why I'm love the gummies because it makes it so simple to be able to consume them without, and you get the 500 mgs in only 2 gummies. And as long as you're drinking a lot of water to stay hydrated alongside of that, not just eating the gummies, but drinking at least 8 to 12 ounces with the gummies, I think is a good way of preventing enamel issues.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you, Bill. Yeah. May you continue to radiate wealth in your health.
We are. We definitely are. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank God we have Dr. Wallach's plant-derived minerals to put back those minerals in cherry flavor and kiwi, strawberry kiwi as well.
Yes.
I love that. I add that. I like cherry mints the best, and I add it to almost everything that I make.
I love it.
Smoothies and even when I'm just drinking water. Yes, I love it.
Well, like Becca always says, we're not sick really. We're malnourished, and now it's generations upon generations that we have been suffering from not getting the proper nutrition, supplementation. You look at what people were experiencing in the 30s and the 40s, long before education. That was our grandparents.
Yes.
And we inherited those genetics. And that's where with iridology, when you can see what we've inherited from our genetic lineage, then you can target different organ systems to support them so you can prevent illness later in life. So, yeah.
God, I've enjoyed telling people about that cat study a lot.
Right? The Pottender's cats.
Yes.
And I
Makes
love
sense.
it.
All right. So AJ has a question. So AJ, if you'd like to unmute and join us.
Dr. Cara, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It's always good to see you, AJ.
Same here. Great to see you. Yeah, I can't let a whole hour go without getting my 2 cents in. And
Please.
what do you think about the use of essential oils in the sense of like you mentioned like a disinfectant, but what about like breathing them in if you're in an area that like kind of smells funky and you can tell that germs are coming around? Like, what do you think about what should I do? Like, should I just put some in my hand and breathe them in, or what do you think a good strategy might be? I live in New York; it's very busy, subways, and you walk into some hallways and you can just feel the
Yeah. Well, what I would suggest is getting a 1 to 2 ounce spray bottle, and you could put about 30 drops of, say, lavender, peppermint, whatever essential oil you really actually like, because it's all going to be a level of disinfecting. Tea tree is, of course, the more medicinal smelling, it's probably got more of that quality. I like lemon, peppermint, lavender as the bases. Now, if you put that into a spray bottle with a little bit of distilled water, you could also do a small amount of isopropyl or regular alcohol, like a 100 proof vodka, and then you can mix that and you can spray that on your hands. That'll disinfect everything. Now, the other option that I've done is putting it on a scarf or a bandana, having that around your neck. If you're really feeling concerned, you can take those fabric face masks that they were selling that have the carbon filter and that you insert inside. And I did that with a spray bottle with the water and essential oil. And I would spray that carbon mask or filter with the essential oil blend and put that back into the mask. And then I felt like I had an extra layer of protection. And let me tell you too, if you're diffusing the essential oils in your clinic or your office space or your car even, you're creating a barrier there also. So if somebody comes into you and they're carrying a bunch of stuff that they've been exposed to, it neutralizes it in the air. So in like France, they use essential oils in the hospitals to keep the germs from spreading. Yeah, and they distill it in the air. So it's just as potent in the air as it is topically.
I knew you'd know. I didn't realize it was smarter than us in France, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've been doing this a long time. And you know the word lavender, if you look at it, it comes from the root word
Wash.
wash. So it's the way of cleaning, you know, and it does prevent bacterial overgrowth and all of those things. Of course, a long time ago, they didn't do a whole lot of bathing, so they just used the lavender to cover everything up. So we've come a long way.
Well, we love having your knowledge, and thank you.
Well, thank you. I look forward to next week. Yes. And Ruth Ellen, it's been a delight to work with you today. Thank you so much for your wonderful skills as our host. And I look forward to working with you more, especially in the world of essential oils. It's my favorite thing.
I'm very much looking forward to that as well. And yeah, today was my first time doing this, so I was really nervous in the beginning, so I apologize. It's a growing experience, but you know, everything that we do. So I also wanted to mention that a lot of our essential oils come in roller bottles that are already mixed with a carrier.
And they're much more affordable in those kits. For those of you who may be just getting started, you know, essential oils can be a hefty investment. If you're buying 75,000 rose petals in 1 ounce of rose, That's, I think, like around $200 or $300 nowadays in the market. So if you want to reduce your buy-in expenses, go for the roller bottles because it's already diluted. You don't have to buy carrier oils either, and it's grab and go. You have them there with you anywhere you need them,
Yeah, I always have something in my purse.
especially for kids.
Yes.
I swear it's mostly placebo anymore.
I think it,
Nice.
yeah, it is, but like they know you're giving them something, they automatically calm down, and it's not a pill or something that tastes bad. You just put a little lavender on a bug bite or tea tree.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was that I used. My grandson got stung by wasps
Okay.
3 or 4 times before my son could get him out of the little riding truck. They had built a nest and we didn't know.
Oh my goodness.
The welts went down within hours and he slept really well.
Amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. I love it. So thank you again, Dr. Cara. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you being here. And again, I need to say that this program is just for educational purposes only. And I gotta find my disclaimer. It is not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding the health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available.
Yes.
Mhm.
You can be empowered. And that's what
Yeah.
this whole, being teaching wisdom, natural wisdom, we got to all return to wellness. So then we can learn and feel empowered and enlighten ourselves. So I'm so grateful for this platform to be able to reach people.
Too. You-
Mhm.
I want to backtrack a little bit because you had said how um, somebody called and asked me the other day why I cut my hair. I cut it all off because I didn't want to put chemicals in my hair on my skin anymore.
Yep.
I was taking one of my classes and the teacher has this spray to spray on your hair because your hair will absorb the essential oil mixture into your body. And so not going to be blonde anymore, everybody. But it just isn't worth it to put all
No.
that stuff because you literally, like you said a couple shows ago, you can't find one that doesn't have something bad in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was poisoning myself. I literally was losing all of my hair 2 summers ago. And so I've been doing the natural way of repairing with castor oil, rosemary essential oil. You can use ginger essential oil mixed in and apply that to the scalp. And just a quick little thing, you can drink blackstrap molasses with your lemon. And that actually has high copper in it, and it helps add the melanin back to the hair. So the natural color can return. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's been working.
Awesome to know. We all need more copper, right?
Yes. Well, I appreciate this. And that's the thing with this today's world. We're actually killing ourselves, like dying for beauty. And I'm seeing young people getting illnesses, especially Hashimoto's, fibromyalgia, lupus, MS, autoimmune, all of that from, I believe, because we're letting our young people dye their hair at 12, 13, and we are literally giving them poison. And it's a dicey slope because we want everybody to enjoy their lives to the richness, but at what cost?
Yes. 15
Mhm.
years old, I started coloring my hair.
Same.
That was
Yeah.
a long time. I'm not
Yeah.
telling you how old I am, but it was a long time.
Well, welcome back to the natural life.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So I'd
No,
like to
thank you.
thank you so much again, Dr. Cara. And I want to thank my co-hosts that were on with me today. And first up in my screen is Sherry. She helps
Mm.
me and AJ get all the streaming stuff set up and helps let people in and helps with the chat. And of course, Albert from South Africa, it's nighttime for him and he's still here, you know,
Oh, Albert.
it's after dinner. And so we're really, really grateful for that. And we always love seeing his different, I think Marty is this one, and he's had giraffes and different things. We always enjoy that. And he's very, he's a gentleman. I enjoy working with you. And of course, Marilyn, who just types away and is fingers. Rebecca likes to call her fingers, and she gets a lot of stuff in here. So that is one of the benefits for being on the Zoom with us. And you could, if she'll put the protocol that, you know, one of our guests put up, and you can take a picture of that and have it for later. So you don't have to sit there and try and write notes, because she'll get it for you. And then of course we have AJ, who has helped us get onto many, many platforms. He started as my assistant and has expanded. He's now our social media manager as well as my assistant. And it's crazy. And we're grateful for him beyond words. So again, I'm Ruth Ellen Sanchez, filling in for Rebecca Dukes. And also, I don't want to forget, we have a call team waiting to take calls. And if you're not working with somebody, you can call the call team at 855-949-3377. And we're happy to help you. And if you are working with somebody and you call us, let us know, because we are not going to take you away from your coach. That is, like Dr. Cara said, if you go to see her, she's going to give you the protocol. You're going to go back to your person and say, this is what Dr. Cara recommended, because we don't steal people from anyone. Again, thank you, everyone. I am so grateful to have been able to allow Rebecca that extra day away. She needed a break. And bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.